What's up, guys? I'm going to break down the simplest way to kill your body fat. And if you put this system in place immediately and you do it consistently, you too will lose stubborn body fat quickly and forever. And for some of you who are maybe new to my world or maybe don't know who I am just yet, my name is Tyler Jones, and I was a former sports sales executive for about a year in the NFL. And I remember back in 2019 when I got it started in sports sales, within that first 4 months, I had gained about 30 pounds, of just pure fat. And I was, working 60 plus hours a week, doing 130 plus calls a day. And I always just felt like I had no time and energy left for myself, at the end of the day. And, I grew very unhappy with my appearance and super, low confidence because a lot of my pants were ripping for game days. And I remember trying to get back at my health and fitness, tried to do the cardio, tried to, not eat throughout my day, tried to, just do whatever it took to lose the fat, and nothing seemed to work. And I realized after all those failed attempts that, I was really just overcomplicating things. And I was actually making things a lot harder on myself and trying to do too much in short amount of time. And when I stumbled upon this system that I'm going to share with you guys today, I was able to then drop the 30 pounds in the next 4 months, and around even working 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week with my schedule. It's the same system a lot of my clients like Calvin, who lost, 12 pounds so far. Like my client Nick, who's almost down 10 pounds. For my client Aaron and Steve, who lost 21 and then 20 pounds in a short amount of time in 4 months. That this system has been able to help me and my clients lose fat and keep it off for a long time. And I'm super excited to share this same system with you. And if you're someone who wants to lose fat, kill it, and then keep it off forever, make sure to take notes because this is going to be some magic tips for you guys right here. So let's dive right into it. So guys, this is the exact blueprint on how to get rid of fat and obviously get jacked. So step number one is to dial in your calories, guys. And the biggest thing when I see when someone is trying to lose fat is they focus just more on eating healthier or just eat one meal per day. And I see this very predominantly in the world of sales and just the world in general. And think about it like this. It's kind of like when you're trying to travel to a destination or go to a restaurant that's maybe an hour away from you. And you kind of have a general location of where it is, but you don't know exactly where it is. Like you're trying to get there without a GPS. That's the same thing when it comes to, when you're just trying to eat clean and healthy. You don't have an exact target amount of food to hit, and because it's about eating right and, getting the right proportions for your body. And think of tracking, your calories or getting your calories dialed in as your GPS of getting the exact location that you need. So again, most people just try to eat healthy and just eat very little throughout their day instead of just getting the exact number they need. So step number one is to dial in your calories, guys. And you can do this right here by clicking this link right here, and it will take you to a calorie calculator. It will give you a general estimation of where you should be, but a ballpark is better than nothing at all. I do a lot more specifics when it comes to working with my clients, but this is better than nothing. And also, if you're someone who barely eats throughout the day, you might need to actually eat more and get the dial in the right calories to reset your metabolism so your body will let go of the fat. And again, that's a big thing I see where people are struggling with is they're eating one meal a day or skipping meals, but they're still not losing fat. So you maybe need to reset your metabolism. And if you're someone who eats a little bit more or enjoys food a lot, or you find yourself snacking a lot throughout your day, when it comes to dialing your calories, you got to dial in your calories, and then maybe intermittent fasting might be a solution for you where you eat in a specific window. Whether that's, a 16 hours and then eating in an 8-hour window where you fast for 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour window. Because again, that just gives you another system to eat in a window so you don't overeat throughout your day. So step number one is to dial in your calories, guys. And all that information is right on here. Step number two is to eat 50 grams of protein with every single meal, guys. And another mistake that I see when it comes to people who are trying to lose fat is they just focus on eating less in the calorie deficit, but also not preserving and keeping the muscle that they already have. Like, think of it like this. If someone just focused on code calling all day and they just focused on hitting those numbers and booking appointments, but they actually didn't, work on their closing skills, they would get no sales, right? They would get a lot of appointments, but not close a lot of deals, which doesn't, help in the end because the goal is to make sales and to make money, right? And revenue for the company. So think about it like that. Most people just focus on the calorie deficit, but they don't focus on also retaining their muscle along the way, which then gives them that skinny fat look. So the goal is to make sure that you're preserving your muscle mass. And how do you do that? You want to ensure hitting about 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of protein per body weight, which is the bare minimum, guys. That is the bare minimum. And naturally, guys, when you have more muscle, you actually burn more calories throughout your day. For every pound of lean muscle, you burn about 50 calories. So if you have 10 pounds of lean muscle, that's 500 calories your body just burns naturally just because of the muscle you have. And when you have more muscle, guys, it's going to boost your metabolism naturally, and it's going to make your body overall healthier because you have more muscle to body fat ratio. And again, which is going to help you, again, burn more body fat naturally, guys. So a method for that is the 2-6-8-10 method that I came up with. Is number one is 2 scoops of protein will equal 50 grams of protein. 6 ounces of chicken breast will equal 50 grams of protein. 8 ounces of lean steak will equal 50 grams of protein. And 10 ounces of tuna will equal 50 grams of protein. So those are all some quick things for you to just know, like, hey, how do I hit my protein targets throughout the day? Just know all of these, when you weigh these foods out like this, that they will give you 50 grams of protein. And also here is a link to go get a high protein shake off of Amazon that will also help you on the journey, guys. And step number 3 is walking, guys. So the biggest mistake I see people with fat loss, and again, I made the same mistake on my own journey as well, is in the beginning, I tried doing a bunch of cardio. I just do a bunch of spurts where I would maybe go to the gym, 2-3 times a week, or maybe even 4, and just do cardio and try to that was the only way for me to shed fat. And I would spend an hour on the treadmill. But the rest of the time throughout my day, I was sitting down. And it's kind of like the saying, the person who loves walking will walk further than the person who just loves the destination. And I love that metaphor because when it comes to walking, guys, your body actually uses more of its fat storages for energy. And it's something that's easier that you can stick with consistently throughout your day versus just going to the gym and trying to do an hour or 2 of cardio, because I know when I was trying to do that, I absolutely hated it. So it made it easier not to go or always come up with excuses not to do my cardio, guys. But walking, right, is like an insurance policy with shedding fat, because to burn like 1 pound of fat, guys, you have to burn about 3,500 calories per week, which means like you want to be in like a 500 calorie deficit per day. So walking can actually accelerate that. So when you're walking 10,000 steps per day, whether it's like, to work, up the stairs, around the office, on your lunch break, if you go to the gym, like just throughout your day, even at your house, when you do the 10,000 steps, you can burn about 500 calories. So if you walk 10,000 steps daily, you can burn about 1 pound of fat on top of the calories that you burn from maintaining a deficit and working out, which is going to help you accelerate your fat loss. So if you look at the quick rule right there, think about 10 minutes of walking equals 1,000 steps a day. And like I said, it uses your body fat. Your body uses mainly its storage fat when it comes to energy. So walking is actually the most efficient way to burn body fat versus just doing intense bouts of cardio, because you're walking throughout your day. It's consistently, and your body naturally prefers that over just intense bouts of cardio, like I mentioned. And step number 4, guys, is progressive strength training, guys. So I made this mistake, being an athlete growing up, playing soccer and basketball, a lot of cardio. I see a lot of people make this mistake as well, especially when it comes to fat loss and we're trying to accelerate, losing weight and losing fat. So the biggest mistake I see people make is doing a bunch of cardio. Right? And they're constantly just, not touching the weight, just going to the gym, doing their cardio, going for runs. And what that does, think of it like with Ozempic. Like when people take Ozempic and they drop like 20, 25 pounds and they have that like skinny fat look at the end. And that's because, guys, when you're trying to shed fat, the number one goal is to not do a bunch of cardio, supplement it, but the main thing is weight training, because you're going to get that skinny fat look if you're not training your muscles and building lean muscle and challenging your body to adapt and grow in many ways. So again, that's what's going to give you that skinny fat look. Like when people come off of Ozempic or do Wegovy and they're not, strength training at all, you're going to get that skinny fat look, which is what we don't want in the end, and obviously lose skin. So you want to progressive strength train, guys. And you want to do it about bare minimum of 3 times per week, all the way up to a max of 6 times per week. Because the goal is to kill fat and obviously to maintain muscle mass. Because obviously we want to avoid being skinny fat. So think about it like this: when you're 40, 50, and 60, when you build more lean muscle mass, you're going to be a healthier individual now, but also for the future. And you're going to be more confident because, again, you're going to get that toned, lean, shredded physique that you want, which you wouldn't have gotten if you just stuck to doing cardio and eating super low calories all day. And like I said, when you build more muscle mass through training, you actually are going to shed fat faster and easier, guys. And step number 5, which is the biggest, I would say the most important step here, is to get sleep, good sleep, and about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. So the biggest mistake I see in the world of sales, the business world, most people just make in general, is when they're on their health and fitness journey and they have a jam-packed schedule, is they just say fuck sleep, right? And they kind of sacrifice their sleep to kind of create more time to dedicate to the grind. And think of it like this. Think of your body as like a Ferrari, right? God gave you the Ferrari. And think of it like, no matter the engine, no matter the, it's perfectly crafted. If you don't give that Ferrari oil, it's not going to make it down the street, and it's eventually going to break down, guys. And this is why, people who sleep 4, 5, 6 hours per night consistently, this is why, they struggle to lose fat and they get diseases easier, because your engine isn't well oiled. Right? And your sleep is your oil. It is the thing to keep the car and the Ferrari going. And, the effects that include this is like you're hungry all the time. And, you're craving foods that are high in fat, sugar, super high calorie foods like, your Burger King, your Chick-fil-A, eating out all the time. And when you are not getting sleep, your testosterone plummets. So even if you are training a lot, going to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week, if you have low testosterone, you're not going to build any muscle, because there's nothing for your body to use in order to build the muscle, right? Your hormones are down. And on top of that, the happy hormone, which is serotonin, is decreased, and your brain will look for this happy hormone in other places, like food, which is like comfort food is a big term, where you're just eating to feel better, feel happier, alcohol, drugs, video games, and you naturally consume them in high doses because your body needs that happy hormone, right? And if you're not getting sleep, your body's not creating serotonin, so it's going to try to get it from someplace else. And if you sleep more, you'll build more muscle and shed more fat. So guys, here's a method. It's called the 10-3-2-1 method when it comes to getting sleep. No caffeine, 10 hours before bed, since it runs in your bloodstream for up to 10 hours. So always have that in mind. No caffeine. I always like to say a good rule of thumb is past like 11 or 12 p.m. No more food 3 hours before bed, because digestion and blood flow can keep you up and keep your body more alert. No more fluids past 2 hours before bed, because obviously if you're getting up multiple times throughout the night, you're not getting through your REM sleep and actually sleeping through the night. And then lastly is to cut blue light screen time 1 hour before bed. Because every time you have light exposure, it resets your internal wake-sleep clock. So think about it like this. Every time you're on your phone late at night and you are just on it, you're setting yourself back by an hour every hour of getting up in the morning. So if you have to be on your phone, though, get some blue light glasses, so that way your body's not absorbing too much blue light, guys. So guys, those are the 5-step system in order for you to kill body fat and keep it off for good and get that lean, shredded physique that you always wanted. And like I mentioned here are some of my clients like Calvin, Nick, Steve, Aaron, who lost 20 pounds of fat. Steve lost 20 pounds. Nick lost 10 pounds already. Calvin's lost 12 pounds and built a lot of muscle, and they're still on the journey. Even thing like Julian, who's lost 16 pounds of fat. Look at Chris, who got that lean freaking physique and shredded out of his mind. Look at Andrew, who lost 25 pounds, and look at JT, who lost 10 inches of fat altogether. So the next step, guys, if you're someone who is struggling to lose body fat and keep it off for good and want that lean, shredded physique, obviously with summer, but also for beyond, book a fat loss audit with me. I'll do a full assessment of your current fitness and nutrition regimen, the breakdown that would take for you to hit your goals and get rid of that stubborn body fat for good. And you can do that just by clicking the link on this resource. This cheat sheet will also be in the bio of this video, but also the fat loss audit link will also be in there as well, guys. So I'm super excited to bring more value to you guys in the coming weeks and coming months, as always. And I hope this breakdown was super helpful for you and also can help you accelerate your fat loss goals ASAP Rocky. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content or be alerted when I do drop these trainings and videos. And have a great day, family. I will talk to you soon. Peace.